Well, here we are. We're still back out at the shop. It's a good place to do this. And I want to introduce to you again, for those who've already seen this, but introduce to you again the pulse width modulator. And this is used to control a heating element or a heating process. And the way it actually does that, simplified, is you have this sine wave of current that runs at 120 volts or at 240 volts. In this sine wave, if you can control the duty cycle, well, then what the load recognizes is that adjustment in the duty cycle. That's to put it simply. You know, a pulse width modulator is almost like a silicone controlled rectifier. Not exactly the same, but very, very similar. And in this particular case, what we can do is we can control the amount of power or the amperage based on our input via this dial. Now, this here, let me just plug this in. It's going to be just an accessory. That's for your water pump or whatever the case may be. And I've got a light hooked up to it now, so you'll see that it's plugged in and the light works. Has nothing to do with the pulse width modulator. It's totally a separate circuit. So that's what that's for. You can hook a radio to it, you can hook a light to it, you can put a water pump to it, you know, just about anything. All right. Now we disconnect that. Now, if I've got a heating element here, and I can demonstrate how this pulse width modulator works. Now, right now it's reading 0 amps. Now it's reading 2 amps at 124 volts. Now that's what that's for. That's what that screen is for. Now, as you start to turn this up, you'll notice that the amperage will start to increase, and lo and behold, your heating element comes on. You can turn that heating element down, and you can see the results of that right here on the load. Now, if you do this with a light, chances are, since the requirement for the amperage or for the load to turn on and off a light is very, very small, it'll either turn on or turn off. It's really hard to make it dim because this is trying to control a large load. Well, that is a large load, several hundred watts. Okay, we can continue to turn that until we get to its maximum value, which in this particular case is, see, I've got it turned up, is 9.7, 9.8 amps. And that's at full power. So once your heat rises to where you want it to, all you've got to do is make the correlation between your thermometer or whatever you're using to check and your input based on how much power or heat you need in order to control your process. See, that's how simple that is. Now, we make these with, this is a 120 volt model, and this will handle up to 2,000 watts easily. I can make it as a 240 volt system. So I just need to understand what it is you're looking for, what it is you require. So until next time, you know the routine. Happy brewing, winemaking, bake lighting, distilling, whatever the case may be.